Okay, we'll get started. Thank you all for joining us for our information session on healthcare programs for high school students. I know when you originally received the invite to this, it was framed around summer internship programs, which we do have a few to highlight, but we also have year-round programs that are mentorship programs, training programs, other programs, all in healthcare to expose you to tonight. Please just stay on mute for the entire event unless you are a presenter, but you can feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions. This event is recorded, so I will send everyone who is registered the recording tomorrow, along with all of the slides and some supplementary flyers. So I'm April Harrington, and I'm the project manager of the Chicagoland Healthcare Workforce Collaborative. Many of you probably aren't familiar with us, but we are a group of healthcare employers and strategic partners who have come together to try and support a more inclusive healthcare workforce. So we are trying to help address the workforce shortages in the healthcare sector in Chicago, while also providing quality opportunities for students like yourselves, as well as adult populations, to enter the healthcare sector and lead quality careers. Here are just a few of our partners. The largest health and hospital systems in Chicago are all members. So today is all about opportunities for high school students to engage in healthcare career exploration, to find internships, training opportunities, and mentor opportunities. First, I'm going to show you something called the Youth Pathways Directory. It is a searchable database where you can find opportunities such as these, and we are adding new programs to that on a monthly basis, so you can come back to that. And then we will have time for you to explore 6 different programs. First is the University of Illinois Champions Summer Internship. Northwestern Medicine is going to share a program that I believe is year-round or throughout the school year. Rush Education and Career Hub will also share some summer internships. Then we'll hear from the University of Illinois Health Volunteer Services, which is an opportunity that you can join at any time. I Am Able is a program that supports aspiring physicians. So if you're a high school student who wants to become a physician, they have a wealth of wonderful opportunities for you. And then finally, we'll also hear from city colleges, Malcolm X city colleges, to hear about their early college summer programs. Those are free summer training programs that can get you on the way towards a healthcare certificate or degree once you finish high school. We will not have a lot of time for questions after each of the presentations. Put your questions in the chat, and hopefully we'll have some time at the end of the session to address some of those. But each of our presenters will inform you on a way to follow up, to ask additional questions, to perhaps attend additional information sessions to learn more. So today is just to get a high-level overview of each of these opportunities. So first I want to show you our Youth Pathways Program Directory. This is a searchable directory, like I mentioned, that has programs for high school students in any year, freshman through senior, as well as college students. If you take a break in between high school and college, there might be opportunities there for you as well. They are both in the summer and through the school year. They include exposure to clinical healthcare roles as well as non-clinical roles. Some of these programs are paid, and as I mentioned, we are adding to them with each month. So follow back up and keep looking for more opportunities as they arise. You can find that at shyhealthworks.com, and I will drop that in the chat momentarily. But first, I would like to show you, give you a little bit of a tour. So this is the CHWC website. And we are updating this website, so it might look a little bit different if you come here a couple of months from now, but it should be easy for you to navigate to what's called our Youth Pathways Directory. So right now, this button is right up here on the right-hand side of the home page. If you click on that, it takes you to our searchable form. Right now, we have 33 programs in total. Those include programs that are for high school students as well as those for college students, or those not enrolled in a program currently. So I actually encourage you to just run through this entire list and take a look at each one. But you can also try and search based on different criteria. So you can search based on different types of healthcare career paths, based on the location, whether it's in the Chicago, which area of Chicago it's in, or whether it's in the suburbs or virtual. You can search based on your current enrollment, so if you're a high school student, on whether the program is paid or not. And I don't believe any of these programs require you to pay anything. All of these are free to you. The type of program, whether that's an apprenticeship, internship, training program, and finally the season, whether you're looking for it's something in the summer, fall, or full year. I want to highlight a couple of programs that we won't have presentations on tonight, but that I encourage you to look at. One of them is the Medicina Academy Apprentice Program. It was just added today. This is a summer apprentice program. And the other ones are offered by Lurie Children's Hospital. So they weren't available to come today to present, but they have a variety of programs that are listed here that you can apply for in the summer for high school students. They also have programs for undergraduates once you start college, if that's what you're pursuing. So I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat. But right now, I would like to hand it over to our colleagues at University of Illinois Champions Program. Daniel, you should be able to share your screen and start telling us what Champions is all about.
Thank you, April, for having us. Hello, everyone. My name is Vanessa. I'm an undergraduate student at UIC, majoring in nutrition, and a UI Health Champion Student Program Coordinator, and I'm here with Daniel.
Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm also an undergrad at UIC, currently studying biochem and also a program coordinator.
And we're here to share a bit more about our upcoming summer internship program. Next slide. So here's a brief overview of what our program focuses on. During our 6-week internship, we'll be covering various different topics, including health career pathways, college readiness, workforce development, health advocacy. We also do have a school year program, which many of our summer internship students continue on within the school year with us. If you would like to learn more about Champions, I encourage you all to scan the QR code at the bottom of the slide, which will lead you to our Champions one-pager. Give you a few seconds to scan. And then, as I mentioned, our internship is a 6-week program. It is a paid opportunity, and our program will be fully in person this upcoming summer. Our sessions will be taking place at the UIC Student Center West, which is very close to where the UI Health Hospital is located. During our internship, we will also be working alongside UI Health volunteer services, and you will have the option to become a volunteer. So our program runs from June 20th to July 27th. And we will be meeting from Monday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
We do have a few requirements for those of you who wish to apply. The first one being you have to be 16 years old by June 20th. You have to reside in a UI Health primary service area, which we will get into in the next slide. We will take some time to look at it. You have to be from a CPS or Noble Network Charter School. Other students enrolled in other Chicago school districts will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. We require that you be a rising high school junior or senior, and all of you here will probably have an interest in a health career. So that's another requirement. And then we do want you all to be able to attend all workshops, and remember it's in person. So think about whether that's possible for you over the summer. We also very highly encourage you to sign up as a UI Health volunteer. They're going to be talking later today as well, so you can get some extra information from them. And then, as I said before, we're taking students from primary service areas. Here's a list of a few. It's in alphabetical numerical order. So if you know where you're at and where you are on the list from top down, left to right, you should be able to figure out if you're on this list. If not, you can always contact us through our email, which we'll share soon, if you're unsure whether you fall within any of these areas. So we have a few steps for application. First off, we have our deadline on March 31st, where we want you to submit your unofficial school transcript, a personal statement, and a letter of recommendations to the UI Health Champions at uic.edu. That is the email we will be using to communicate. Incomplete applications will not be considered. And we do need you all to scan this QR code, or I think Natalia is going to be sending the link in the chat to start the application process. We look forward to hearing from you all. And if you need any help or anything's confusing, you can always contact us at our email. And of course, we have social media on the bottom if you want to follow for updates. Yeah.
We also added the flyer and links in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel and Vanessa, and thank you, Natalia, for sharing all that information in the chat. Everyone, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat box. We will have a little bit of time at the end to address some of those. So now let me pass it off to Jana at Northwestern.
Hello, everyone. I am Jana Udave. I'm the Community Support Specialist at Northwestern Medicine's Youth Pipeline Programs. And I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes just describing our Discovery Program. Make sure you guys can see everything. Perfect. So here you'll see a description of the program as well as our mission, but I just wanted to also highlight that the program is an opportunity for students who may not otherwise get the chance to have up-close healthcare exposure. And throughout the duration of the program, students are going to be exposed to a broad range of healthcare careers through activities like tours, guest speakers, group discussions, and hands-on projects. And the program truly fosters career and professional development and cultivates life skills and provides community services and leadership experiences. So it's a great, great opportunity. The program dates are November 2023 to June 2024. Our application opens in August of 2023, and the application is fully online. As far as locations, we run in 6 chapters, and the program locations will vary based on your chapters, and participation in the chapters is determined by the county of school. On the next slide I share, I will describe how to determine which chapter you should apply to. In terms of eligibility, you must be at least 15 years of age, be entering into sophomore or junior year of high school, have an academic GPA of at least a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale. And as far as when the sessions are held, the meetings are held once a month, most often on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. during the school year. And for application requirements, we require an electronic application, personal statement, an essay question, academic recommendation, and official school transcripts. This slide here is how to get in touch with us. On the bottom of the screen, you'll see my email listed here. That's janaudave@nm.org. And you can take a screenshot of the slide. I'll also put a copy in the chat as well in PDF format so that you can have the contact information that's listed here on the right. So I really would encourage you, if you're interested, to visit nm.org/discovery program. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. Okay, now we have Reach at Rush. It is the Rush Education and Career Hub at Rush University Medical Center.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that.
Take your time, Mia. And everyone feel free to ask some questions.
All right.
And we will send you these slides with the recording tomorrow as well. So you'll have these email addresses and QR codes and all this great info tomorrow.
Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Nia Benson. I am the Program Development Associate for Rush Education and Career Hub, and I am here to talk to you all today about our programs. First off, I would like to let you know about what the program is. So the Rush Education and Career Hub is a pipeline program that is centered around making sure that we diversify the healthcare field with more low-income Black Latino students that are looks like the populations that we serve. And so I want to make sure that you all understand that our ultimate goal is to make sure that we are diversifying the healthcare field with students who are interested in making sure that whatever successes or whatever supports they need in order to keep going within the healthcare field is something that we are trying to help foster and help keep them on, as well as provide them with the networking and social supports that are needed and the wraparound supports. Today I'm going to be talking about two programs actually, and one of them is the Medicine Pathways and the Medicine Explorers program, which is for our Chicago high school students. The Medicine Explorers program is a academically intensive program that is for our freshmen and sophomores, and please understand it's for freshmen and sophomores, current freshmen and sophomores who are interested in going into the healthcare track, but maybe don't understand where they want to go. We basically work with those students over the summer for 6 weeks, and it's a paid opportunity where students are going to be exploring different healthcare careers that they might be interested in, possibly figuring out what type of specialty they're interested in, and also doing research for real world issues in Chicago. Some of the classes that you might be involved with is like our anatomy and physiology classes. We also have an intro to community health class, which is where you do a lot of that research and that real world work, as well as you're also going to be doing a writing class and various like workshops to help you work on your professionalism, as well as work on getting involved with individuals who are in the healthcare field. So that way we can provide you with the best case scenario on improving your social capital. All of this is going to be is going to be given to you in order to kind of prepare you for the Medicine Pathways program, which is a lot more hands-on. This program is going to be for our sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So sophomores, you are able to get into both programs. And what's going to happen is that you are going to be working alongside doctors, nurses, basically anyone in the healthcare field, both clinical and non-clinical. And you have some choice in that matter as well, where you'll be, given a shift on the floors and on the units. So some students are placed in like radiology, some students are placed in ICU areas, some students are placed in the ER. And then we also have some students who are placed in non-clinical areas like photography, art therapy. We have them in human resources and corporate finance and departments like those. So there's so many different departments that we work with. And we also work with different clients and opportunities outside of the hospital area. So like if you're interested in veterinary science, we also work with Paul Chicago, and they have their own clinic and their own volunteer services as well. Along with the hospital component, we also have a component that is for you to get industry recognized credentials. And so students are also going to be involved in classes such as phlebotomy technician, ECG, nursing boot camp, our innovations in healthcare class, which is like either entrepreneurship or a business class. And then we also have some IT healthcare classes. So if you want cybersecurity, or if you want CompTIA, we also provide those certifications, and we also make sure you get nationally certified. So all of this is paid for by us. We also provide you all with uniforms, pens, pencils, and book bags, and anything that you could possibly need in order to be successful, as well as all the wraparound supports. Some of the common requirements that are for both programs is that you have to be a Chicago high school student, you have to have a minimum of 2.5 GPA, and then you have to have somewhere between an 80 to 90% attendance rate. But we just want to make sure that our attendance rate is going to reflect how you come to work, because attendance is very important to our program. Some of the fast facts, it is going to be in the summer. They are both 6-week programs. One starts right after the other. They are both paid. Medicine Explorers is paid by After School Matters. Medicine Pathways is paid by the Rush facility. And then both programs, you're going to be getting industry recognized credentials, wraparound supports, and we do accept undocumented DACA refugee students. So if you are one of those students who are in those communities, please understand that you are very welcome to apply to our program. If you would like to apply to our program, I'm going to put the link for the application at the end of this session, but you can also go to our website, reach@rush.org, and I'll put that in the chat. If you are deciding to apply to our program, please understand that you will need a letter of recommendation. You would need a resume. You also need official transcripts from your school. You need your immunization records, so all your shot records that you give to your school. Typically, your school will have those. We also need your COVID-19 vaccination card or an exemption letter from a doctor or a religious leader. And then if you are approved for the program, you will also need to do a secondary application either through Rush or with ASM. And then you also need to complete a 15-minute interview with us. So it's not going to be too hefty. A lot of these things, you just need the names and emails of the people who could provide that to you. But make sure that if you want to do the application fast, that you have those documents before you start. Program. Here, the links to the applications direct. Applications are going to be open up until March 24th. And then we are going to have our last 2 interviews happening on March 25th and April 15th. So that way we can send out our awarded decisions by May 1st. And then we expect for students to reply back by May 15th. But if you have any other questions or so, please make sure you put them in the chat. I would be available in the chat until the end of session. And I will also put that link in there for you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nia. I do think you have a couple of questions in the chat that you could answer there. And asking about public health. I think a lot of these programs have some exposure to public health careers. I know that Champions mentioned including health advocacy being a COVID ambassador program and information about social justice and health equity awareness. I think there are also some other programs coming up that also touch on public health. And several of these programs I know are for seniors, but that's a great question, Tomasola, that our presenters should respond to. So next up we have the University of Illinois Health Volunteer Services. Kinga, I believe I gave you, great, there we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kinga Matea. I'm the Director of Volunteer Services at UI Health, and I have here Donnie with me. Donnie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Odonis. You can call me Donnie. I'm the Workforce Development Coordinator for UI Health Volunteer Services.
Awesome. You can go ahead to the next slide. So we'll tell you a little bit about volunteer services. We are a group of almost 1,000 volunteers at this point. We have a lot of different programs in the hospital and clinics. So you will get to actually observe what's happening behind the scenes at the hospital system and in the clinics and also in the administrative offices. You will, we hope that you will solidify your interest in pursuing a health career. It will also contribute to the overall health care of the patient. And you will kind of develop a couple of skills like patience, sensitivity, and professionalism in working with us. Next slide. I'll tell you a little bit about qualifications. So we are looking for volunteers as young as 16. And it can go all the way to, we have volunteers all the way in their 80s. So we have quite a variety of people in our group. We are asking all of our volunteers to commit to a minimum of 12 months of service with a minimum of 8 hours each month. However, you can, if you are able to complete 100 hours within 6 months or 4 months, we'll also work with that. But this is a minimum. We have volunteers that they are with us for 10 years. So it's totally up to you, and we're very flexible. You will ask you to complete an online application. I will put the link in the chat in a little bit. You will view our volunteer orientation. So where we'll be telling you about all the requirements and how to behave in the hospital and all of the safety requirements. You will complete a quiz at the end. After that, we'll ask you to complete our health screening, which all the costs are covered by our department, so there's no cost to you. And there will be a drug screening as well, so they will draw your blood, and then there will be a drug screening during that medical clearance. Once we have a green light from our university health services that everything is okay, we will proceed with your background check. And that background check usually takes a couple of days for us to get the results. So again, you will submit the application, you will take some intake forms, and a new volunteer orientation quiz, complete some forms, confidentiality forms. You will be working with patients, so there's a lot of health information exchanged. You will complete the health screening, you will complete the background check, and then we'll send you all the information about your clearance and assignments to different programs. You'll pick up your ID badge and you can start volunteering. Then you want to talk about the programs?
Yeah, so we have a variety of different, like Kinga mentioned, we have a variety of different clinical and administrative departments that you guys can take advantage of. I think our program is pretty good if you don't really know where in healthcare you want to be in. I know a lot of you guys might want to be doctors or nurses, but might not know what specialty to go into. Our program really lays a foundation for you to get exposure to various different types of programs. So some of the programs that we have, greeters and wayfinders, diagnostics and imaging services, outpatient pediatrics, oncology, music therapy, pet partners therapy, inpatient pediatrics, the emergency room, physical and occupational therapy, surgical services, the NICU, so our baby cuddler program. We have programs in health social work, craniofacial center, craniofacial anaplastology, pharmacy, breastfeeding, peer counselors, and pastoral care. And a great thing about our program is that we don't limit you to the amount of departments or the amount of hours that you commit. And we're very flexible on the timing. So some of our volunteers will spend like a Saturday and they'll do, 2 hours in the emergency room, 2 hours in surgery, 3 hours in diagnostics, and you can get your hours in there. Another great aspect of our program is that it's completely self-scheduling. So you're able to schedule yourself however you want. So if you want to do all 8 hours within one day, you're more than welcome to. If you want to split that up, you can do 2 hours every week. You can do 4 hours every 2 weeks. And then on top of that, we have a lot of fun in the program. So we do a lot of events throughout the year. Almost every major holiday we'll have something going on, and it's a really good way to get involved in the community and spread some cheer and happiness to our patients and staff. Some volunteer benefits that we have when you join the program, we cover the cost of your parking, and then we also give you a meal voucher to go to get a meal on us at the hospital cafeteria. All of that when you're eligible for both of those when you volunteer for 4 or more consecutive hours. And then just some disclaimers. While we are very flexible with our volunteers, we do ask that you apply to our program with a commitment that you will be staying and completing your 100 hours, whether that be 8 hours a month, or if let's say you are only available for the summer or during winter break. You can split those hours between summer and winter, so you don't have to do it throughout the year. Because I know 12 months seems a little daunting, but we're very flexible with the amount of hours. So again, please be certain that you're committed to volunteering, only because we cover the cost of your health screening and your background check, your ID badge, and your uniform as well.
Unlike other institutions where you have to pay for everything out of pocket. So
absolutely. We've taken precautions to help with COVID-19. While a lot of restrictions are being lifted, UI Health stays on top of exposure rates, and you're able to feel safe when you're in our hospital and our clinics. And then this is our social media. Definitely follow us on social media. If you're still iffy about joining our program, this is a great way to see what we're up to on a day-to-day basis. We post almost every day. And then this is a QR code to our website and our application. And then if you have any questions, or if you have any sort of accommodations that you want to talk to us about, feel free to just shoot us an email or give us a call.
Thank you so much, Adonis and Kinga. And I believe you at least have one question in the chat about whether you can get community service hours from volunteering.
Yes, you can, as long as usually the community hours is 20 hours. So if you are able to commit to a minimum of 100 hours, which whatever time it will take you, then we absolutely can do that. But if it's only 20 hours, then that's not going to be a good fit.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now I'll turn it over to the team at I Am Able.
Hello, I am Magnolia Oliver, the student coordinator for the I Am Able Foundation, which is the Urban Bridges Medical Mentoring Program. Just like to share with you who we are. We are the I Am Able Foundation is founded and directed by Dr. Lamenta Sweetie Conway, and it is a non-for-profit organization that seek to help underrepresented Black and Brown students achieve their goal of becoming a physician. The mission of the I Am Able Foundation is to identify, prepare, and encourage our next generation of healthcare heroes. Always leave a wedge in the door of opportunity so that others may follow. This is the slogan of our president, Dr. Lamenta Sweetie Conway. And so Urban Bridges Medical Mentoring Program is designed to expose underrepresented inner city youth interested in becoming a physician to careers in medicine. Applications are now open for rising sophomores and up. And the deadline is March 15th. And you need to have your transcript, a letter of recommendation, and a professional headshot when you get ready to fill out the application. Some of the components of the program includes a one-on-one physician mentoring, Saturday morning professor lecture series, intro to history taken in the patient, scientific journal club, simulated patient exam competition, and so much more. Thank you. Carl?
Hi, everyone. My name is Carl Wilson. I am a 2016 mentee of the I Am Able Foundation and a rising first-year medical student. And today I'll just be talking to you a little bit about how I Am Able Foundation can help prepare you for a career in medicine and how they support you along all of the steps to get there. So the first component of this whole process to getting into medical school is picking the right college. And for me, I was struggling with finding the right college until I joined I Am Able Foundation, and I was nominated through them for a full tuition scholarship to college. And that really set in motion the rest of the opportunities that are necessary in order to get into medical school. So the next thing that I Am Able Foundation could also help you with is planning clinical and volunteer experiences early, which are some of the most important components of a medical school application. And they do this through physician mentoring, through partnerships with other medical schools and hospitals in Chicago. And personally, I was able to participate in research at Northwestern after graduating college, as well as shadowing an orthopedic surgeon, which is the field that I'm interested in going into. So as far as opportunities and experiences that medical schools are looking for, I Am Able Foundation can definitely help you with those opportunities and make sure you're getting the most from them. And also one of the most important aspects of getting into medical school that I Am Able Foundation can help with is doing well on the MCAT, which is the test to get into medical school. And I participated in the I Am Able Foundation MCAT program, which was 6 months long, and it raised my score by about 50%, which is a lot for that test. And it ultimately is what contributed to me being able to get into medical school, in addition to working on my personal statement and all these other resources that I Am Able Foundation has to make sure you're set up for success. And last, but certainly not least, it's important to maintain connections and networking. And I Am Able Foundation has built a very large and helpful networking system for you if you so choose to join. So I definitely encourage you to learn more information about it on the Youth Pathways Directory. And I'll pass it over to Dhruval, who will tell you a little bit more about the foundation.
Hello, I'm Dhruval. I'm a 2021 mentee, and I wanted to talk about a non-traditional path to medicine from high school, one that would mean that you wouldn't need to stress about your MCAT or your GPA in college. This might sound like a dream, but it's a very real possibility, and it's the BSMD route. The BSMD route is when you get accepted to both your undergrad and medical school while you're still in high school. And in this route, you would spend between 1 to 2 years of your undergrad, depending on the program you get into, completing your bachelor's. And then after undergrad, you would then go on to medical school using your guaranteed seat that you got from high school if you meet the program requirements. These program requirements are typically a minimum MCAT score and a GPA that are way below what you would need to get into med school the traditional route, and are there just to make sure that you're not completely slacking out. So the way you apply to these programs are something that I didn't know of, and I've found out during my senior year of high school at the last minute. And the way you would start, I would first recommend, is from May to August, you would create a list of your BSMD programs. And then you would apply during your time in undergrad, or while you're applying to undergrad, so your senior year of high school. So between January and August, you start off by applying to undergrad, and then some of these BSMD programs that have direct applications. And then from November and January, you would then get your secondary applications to those other BSMD programs that don't have direct applications. And then from December to March, you would be interviewing. After all of this, you would then find out if you got into your BSMD program in between November to April. After hearing all of this, you might be thinking that it's almost impossible to get into a BSMD program. And to be honest with you, I personally thought it was also impossible. However, through the resources, support, mentoring, and guidance that IMABLE provided me, I'm currently in a BSMD program on a full ride for both undergrad and medical school. So whether you want to become a doctor through the traditional route of a BSMD, IMABLE will provide the foundation to make that dream a reality. So I urge you to apply before March 15th. Thank you.
Thank you so much from the team at IMABLE. It's great to hear from Dhruval and Carl, who have been through the program themselves. Finally, we have Malcolm X's early college team. Antoinese, you should have permission to share your screen.
Yes, let's do that. All right. Can we all see my screen? Awesome. Okay. So, last but not least, my name is Antoinese Hightower. I am the early college coordinator here at Malcolm X. I work alongside Ms. Najia Omer, who is the assistant dean of early college. In regards to early college, it is encompassed of two of our dual enrollment and dual credit opportunities. So dual enrollment is where you are able to take courses at Malcolm X, either in person, online, or just strictly online, right? Not having to log in to Zoom. This typically happens after school. So classes could be an hour or two, ranging from 3 to 6, and even on Saturdays. Okay, to be a dual enrollment student, you do have to be 16 years or older. You do have to be a Chicago resident. You have to have a 2.0 GPA, have a 9% attendance rate, and receive some permission from your counselor and your parents. Okay, so dual credit is a little bit the same, whereas you are taking some college credit opportunities at your high school. Okay, so you're not coming to our campus, but you're sitting at your high school, listening to your teacher who has those credentials to teach you that subjects. And you do have to have those same eligibility requirements. In order to take part in this program, you do first have to apply, submit that permission slip where you're getting permission from your counselor and your teacher. You're gonna ask your counselor for your transcripts and your SAT scores. If you have not taken the SAT, that's no problem. We have our own placement test where you do have to make some arrangements to come to our campus, or have someone at your school go ahead and proctor you while you take the English or math placement test. Okay, then you have to register for a class through me. I'll go ahead and help you register for your class with a form that you must fill out and just letting me know the class that you would like to take at the time, and I will go ahead and put you in that class. And when you're all registered, you should be able to attend the mandatory orientation so that you are ready for your class. We do have 3 cohort models, including the CHW program, which is the Community Health Worker program, the B&A program, which is the Basic Nursing Assistant program, the PFT program, which is the Personal Fitness Trainer program. All programs are 8 weeks long, okay? The CHW and the B&A program do have their own enrollment process where you do have to still do those 6 steps with me, as well as with the CHW program, complete a statement of interest. Okay, and there are other required documents that you have to complete. I will put some links in the chat so that you can see that in detail. Okay, an information session is required for that program as well. The B&A program, it is an extensive enrollment process as well. Well, you do have to go ahead and get some medical exams done, as well as a background check. Okay, and the information session is mandatory for that as well. But for the PFT program, there's no extra enrollment requirements. However, they will be holding an open house for you all to join. Let's go ahead and put this in the chat. If you're interested, go ahead and follow those links there that I put in the chat in regards to those models. For this summer, we will have an applied biology program where topics will include chemistry of life through experiments in marine biology. We will be looking at cells and how they work, photosynthesis, plants and genetics, and biotechnology. Okay, students will receive 5 college credit hours for biology 121. That's usually always a requirement if you're interested in the health field. You will have free museum visits during the course. You have opportunity to visit those museums in regards to those different topics. You will have free museum tickets for later on in your leisure. You will have the opportunity to work with Malcolm X professors and museum staff. Okay. The expectations for this program include students are expected to be on time and remain the entire day. Students will be in college level coursework. So this will require some studying outside of those normal hours. Students will get a grade that will be on their college transcripts as well. For those requirements, you do have to be 16 years or older. You have to have the ability to attend the program for all 18 days. Okay, those dates are at the bottom, where the program will begin on June 26th and end on July 25th. The program will run from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. and then 12:30 to 3. Okay, the program is only from Monday through Thursday. No sessions will be held on Fridays or on July 4th. Okay. Any questions?
Thank
If
you.
there are-
I
You're
think
welcome.
the links didn't quite translate in the chat to the B&A, PFT, and CHW programs. If you wouldn't mind putting those links, that'd be great. And actually with that, we have those were all of our presentations. So we have 15 minutes left for questions. Anthony's, if you wouldn't mind ceasing sharing yet. We have a small enough group where, okay, we have the first question is, what programs or volunteer opportunities are available to freshmen? Did anyone have something that was available to freshmen? Presenters, you'd come off, yeah.
Yeah, so for the Medicine Explorers, that is available for freshmen and sophomores. That is a 6-week summer program that's going to be happening between June to August, where you're going to be working in classes, doing anatomy and physiology, intro to community health, writing, as well as a lot of different professional development and career readiness workshops, as well as working alongside with the doctors and nurses and guest panels to kind of just give yourself an opportunity to ask any questions. The Medicine Explorers is basically going to help you kind of like solidify what your healthcare career is, whether it be clinical or non-clinical. And we do have volunteer opportunities that are both voluntary and involuntary. And so if you're interested in it, it is a paid opportunity. So please make sure you join us, apply to our program, which is at the reachatrush.org website. It is the MedStem Explorers, and you are paid for that program. That program also is ran through After School Matters, and so they pay you. And so that would be your secondary application for that. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm answering questions in the chat and out loud. And I'll put the link in there again.
Thank you, Nia. A question for Malcolm X team is, which of the three programs, for the biology programs at Malcolm X, which of the three programs would I have to apply to? I believe the biology is a separate one. Is that right, Antonise?
Yeah, so we have a summer program that's covering applied biology. And then I'm not sure if you're referencing the BNA, which is the basic nursing assistant program. That one is starting up again in the summer. Don't have those specific dates just yet. That's why I'm gonna put these links in the chat so that you can keep up to date.
And I know this has been a lot of information, which is why we'll be sending you all of the slides as well as flyers and a recording of this tomorrow so that you can dive into the material and look a little bit further into each of these programs. Simra, a summary of opportunities that are available to students in the suburbs. Could any of our presenters speak up if they have programs available in the suburbs? Jana?
Right there. Yep, this is Jana. Such a great question. Yes, the Discovery program at Northwestern Medicine is available in the suburbs. We have 6 chapters, so would definitely suggest applying to our program. Thank you.
Yeah, and I know that North Shore University Health, now North Shore Elmhurst, has a partnership with Evanston Township High School. If you happen to be an Evanston Township High School student, I don't know the exact way to look into that, but I'll include my email in the chat as well. If anyone has questions about that, I can look into it. I'm always trying to learn more about all the programs available across Chicago and the suburbs. Unfortunately, I don't know of a better list of all of the opportunities out there. But if anyone hasn't found a program today that they're looking for something, I encourage you to email me and I'll do my best. Let's see, any other questions that haven't been answered yet? If you're a student and you have a question that hasn't been answered, feel free to sort of raise your virtual hand, and you could come off mute. Any other questions? Okay, well, I'm about to put my email in the chat. I also have a very quick survey that I'd love for you to take. It's just a couple of questions. Oh, and then we have one more, which is, I'm sorry, Virginia, you direct messaged me. Can you please get a link for the NICU? Was that a specific program that's in the NICU? And what months will the STEM pathways be? That's a question for Nia.
Yes, both programs are going to be in June all the way up until August. So it's 6 weeks. The Medicine Pathways program is going to start June 16th and 17th for orientation. And then on that following Monday is going to be the start of program. And then the Explorers is going to start a week after that. And so the Pathways program is going to end early. However, you will have the opportunity to go to our capstone showcase. And so you'll actually be ending at the same time as Explorers because you'll have an extra week to work on projects as well as to present those projects to the hospital. So we do more information about those capstone projects in our informationals. And if you apply to our program, we also talk about that in our workshops. And so we have a workshop coming up on Saturday that I put in the chat. If you start an application, you'll be able to get the information more detail about it. But definitely you can come and just join us. It's in the chat, even if you don't have an application in the system.
Okay, and I know this was a ton of information. Like I said, I'm going to send you all of the slides and flyers and this recording tomorrow. That will come from my email. So if you have some specific questions and you're not sure who to reach out with, feel free to ask me. And Lurie Children's, well, they weren't able to be here today. I know that their programs are listed in that Youth Pathways directory, and it does have links to their applications in those programs, Melissa. Any final questions? Okay, please take a minute to fill out that survey. We'd love to continue hosting these information sessions for you, as well as other types of events that are helpful as you're pursuing your careers in healthcare. Thank you to all of our presenters tonight, and everyone have a fantastic evening. Thank you.